The 15-dimensional matrix, a blueprint for consciousness and reality. The 15-dimensional matrix is a metaphysical blueprint describing how consciousness evolves through layers of reality. It's not just a model of space, it's a living architecture of time, identity, and multidimensional perception. Rooted in systems like the Universal Time Matrix and the Veca Universe, this framework offers a map of how spiritual identity unfolds across increasingly refined frequencies, from dense physical matter to pure source awareness. At its core, the matrix is structured into 5 harmonic universes, HUs, each containing 3 dimensions, totaling 15. These universes are not merely stacked layers. They are vibrational fields, each with its own laws of physics, perception, and identity. As consciousness ascends through these layers, it experiences different aspects of itself, moving from personality to oversoul, avatar, and finally, founder consciousness. Each harmonic universe represents a density level, a frequency band that shapes how matter and consciousness manifest. These are not just abstract zones, they are experiential platforms where identity takes form. HU1, dimensions 1 to 3, is the realm of physical matter and personality identity. It includes the mineral, plant, animal, and human kingdoms. Time is linear, perception is localized, and consciousness is bound to the body. HU2, dimensions 4 to 6, is the domain of the soul. Here, consciousness expands beyond the ego and begins to access intuitive, emotional, and energetic awareness. Time becomes more fluid, and multidimensional perception begins. HU3, dimensions 7 to 9, is the oversoul or monadic level. Identity becomes more collective, archetypal, and non-local. This is the realm of higher guidance, multidimensional memory, and interstellar awareness. HU4, dimensions 10 to 12, is the avatar or Christos level. Consciousness here is unified, sovereign, and capable of manipulating reality through intention and resonance. It is the domain of ascended masters and planetary architects. HU5, dimensions 13 to 15, represents founder consciousness. This is pure source awareness, beyond form, beyond time, beyond polarity. It is the origin point of all creation, the eternal stillness from which all motion arises. Each HU contains a trinity of dimensions, forming a triadic structure that mirrors sacred geometry and the universal tree of life. These dimensions are not isolated. They interpenetrate, creating a dynamic field of interaction and evolution. Underlying the 15-dimensional matrix is the Cathara grid, a scalar wave template that encodes the vibrational structure of reality. It is composed of 12 Cathara centers, each corresponding to a dimension within the lower 4 density levels. The grid is a map of manifestation, guiding how energy becomes matter, how consciousness becomes form. The Cathara grid is replicated across scales, from planetary shields to galactic architecture to personal energy fields. It is the blueprint for star gates, dimensional portals, and the pathways through which consciousness travels. In advanced metaphysical systems, the Cathara grid is also linked to the 12-tree grid, a sacred geometry structure that governs the flow of life force and the organization of identity across dimensions. Beyond the 12 dimensions of matter, the grid extends into the primal light and sound fields, which correspond to dimensions 13 to 15. These are not matter-based. They are pure vibrational fields that encode the original intention of creation. They exist at a 90-degree angle to the lower grid, forming a multidimensional cross that represents the intersection of time, space, and source. The 15-dimensional matrix is part of a larger structure known as the Veca Universe, which includes both matter and antimatter expressions. The Pratikam side represents our familiar universe, while the Partick A side is its antimatter twin. These two sides are mirror reflections, each containing their own Cathara grids, primal fields, and dimensional structures. Together, they form a quadri-universal system, with 4 Veca quadrants that span the full spectrum of creation. This duality is not oppositional, it is complementary. Every expression of matter has an equal and opposite antimatter counterpart, creating balance and coherence across the matrix. The Veca universe also includes Eka maps, diagrams that show the relationship between the grids, the star gates, and the God world gates. These maps are used in advanced spiritual systems to navigate the multidimensional terrain, access higher frequencies, and initiate ascension protocols. As consciousness moves through the matrix, it adopts different stations of identity. These are not fixed personas, they are vibrational expressions of the self at different levels of awareness. In HU1, identity is rooted in survival, emotion, and ego. In HU2, it expands into empathy, intuition, and energetic sensitivity. In HU3, it becomes archetypal, mythic, and transpersonal. In HU4, it is sovereign, creative, and unified. In HU5, it dissolves into pure awareness, becoming one with Source. Each station of identity is encoded in the universal tree of life, a fractal structure that mirrors the macrocosmic matrix within the microcosmic self. The journey through the tree is the journey of awakening, of remembering who we are across all dimensions. The 15-dimensional matrix is also a time matrix, a map of how consciousness experiences time across dimensions. Time is not linear in this model. It is cyclical, holographic, and multidimensional. Each dimension has its own flashing rhythm, a pulsation that determines how fast or slow reality appears. In density 1, dimensions 1 to 3, the waves are slow, creating dense matter and linear time. In higher densities, the waves pulse faster, creating more fluid realities and expanded perception. This pulsation is governed by the particle phasing process, which determines the type of matter that manifests in each harmonic universe. Reality in this sense is a function of frequency. As consciousness ascends, it accesses faster pulsations, lighter matter, and more expansive timelines. The matrix is not static. It is a dynamic field of vibration, constantly shifting based on intention, resonance, and awareness. Embedded within the matrix are star gates, coordinate points that allow passage between dimensions, densities, and universes. These gates are not just theoretical. They are energetic structures encoded in the Kathara grid and activated through specific frequency alignments. Star gates exist at the junctions between dimensions, particularly at the 12/13 interface, where the matter grid meets the light grid. They are used in advanced spiritual practices to initiate dimensional travel, access higher guidance, and facilitate ascension. Each gate corresponds to a specific frequency band and requires a matching vibrational signature to pass through. This ensures that only consciousness prepared for the next level can access it. The gates are not barriers, they are filters of readiness, testing the coherence and integrity of the traveler. The 15-dimensional matrix is not just a cosmic map, it is a template for human evolution. It suggests that we are not limited to 3D perception, but are multidimensional beings capable of accessing higher frequencies, expanded timelines, and deeper truths. As we awaken, we begin to activate dormant aspects of our identity: soul memory, monadic awareness, avatar consciousness. These are not fantasies. They are encoded potentials within our energy field, waiting to be remembered. The matrix also implies that reality is malleable. By shifting frequency, we can alter perception, heal trauma, and manifest new outcomes. The journey through the matrix is the journey of empowerment, of reclaiming our place as conscious co-creators within the architecture of existence. The 15-dimensional matrix is a profound model of reality. It offers a structured, coherent framework for understanding how consciousness evolves, how dimensions interact, and how identity unfolds across time and space. It is not just a metaphysical theory. It is a living blueprint, encoded in our bodies, our energy fields, and the universe itself. By studying the matrix, we begin to see the hidden architecture behind our experiences. We begin to understand the mechanics of ascension, the nature of multidimensionality, and the path to spiritual sovereignty. Ultimately, the matrix invites us to remember who we are, not just as humans, but as eternal beings navigating the vast spectrum of creation.